Hello, everyone. We have some great news to talk about today. Markets are looking green, and we're going to take a look at the price chart for Bitcoin and XRP, as well as go over some of the latest news. So let's go ahead and get started. Up first, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is now at 21. We're looking at a nice climb up. We're going on the verge of into the fear territory. Yes, we are still in extreme fear. There's a lot of things that are still to be taken into consideration. But with this rise, we are now more safely away from going to the single digits. So that's definitely a nice change. And then looking at the price movement for Bitcoin, check this out. We've got 2 days of candle closure in the green. And with that being said, we still see green on the current day. So we're up over 1%, sitting above $62,100, and it's trying to make that push up here to $63,100. That is a very key Fibonacci retracement level. If it manages to break above that zone, then we're going to be looking at a further price climb. Ideally, we want to get back above $67,000. We saw it hit that high point back on June 15th. And if it can manage to do that, then the next major zone is at $78,300. As it is, the Bollinger Band is still pretty tight, but it is diverging a little bit more. Volume on the day is doing pretty good. We're seeing it fairly comparable to being on track with what happened yesterday, July 2nd. I would suspect that this is likely going to be a little bit less, but seeing these nice progressive moves is quite good. Now, something to take into consideration when we look at the more recent trend history for Bitcoin, how many days has it closed out green in a row before we started to see it drop down? And so we can go back here. We have 3 days that took place from June 13th to June 15th, and then after that, 3 red days. Not so great when we look at the fact that we go back again, May 23rd to May 25th, and then 4 red days, right? We zoom out a tad bit more. Three green days here. We got May 8th to May 10th, and then 3 red candles. And you guys kind of get the point here. There's actually 4 that took place there, 1 red, 2 green, and then drop down further. But it started to make another rally up. And we actually had a lot of days of green in a row back here on March 9th. March 9th up to March 16th. So yes, it is possible that we could see more than 3 days. I would say though that of course there's going to be some selling pressure that takes place as people try to take profits or shake up the market a little bit, especially with people that are taking longs, people trying to bank on the idea of a short position. As it is right now though, we have an indicator position suggesting a long, so there's a little bit more on the flip side, right, than the downside. So let's see if this continues to carry itself up. But as it is right now, things are looking pretty good. And in additional news, BlackRock just gave the United States a wake-up call on crypto. Executive Joseph Chalem says if the Clarity Act keeps stalling, Asia leapfrogs America, and Singapore and Dubai are already building the frameworks Washington cannot finish. Passage odds this year, we're looking at about 39%. The clock's louder than the debate. And also, a key reminder, BlackRock is now using Ripple's RLUSD as collateral. And this is using it for the stable coin for collateral as Ripple pushes institutional adoption. Big progress on the Clarity Act. The U.S. Senate is expected to release the final text of the Clarity Act over this weekend. It's happening. So we're literally talking within the next few days the final text. We still have to see how that gets moved forward, but having the final text is definitely a good start. XRP spot ETFs recorded $6.55 million in net inflows yesterday, bringing cumulative inflows to $1.49 billion since launch. Total net assets across all 5 funds now stand at $982.59 million, equal to 1.09% of XRP's total market cap. And Bhutan, Georgia, Montenegro, and Palau are piloting digital currency projects using Ripple's CBDC platform built on a private ledger powered by XRP Ledger technology. XRP trades at $1.09, that was earlier, over on South Korea's largest exchange Upbit with 24-hour volume 13,178 million actually outpacing Bitcoin's turnover on the platform. Very big numbers. And Ripple APAC hosts major client celebration in Singapore with local and regional teams, signaling deeper push into the Australian market in the coming months. And here we go. You've got originally a post from Stellar Rippler. Ripple shifts XRP Ledger funding to community-driven model in 2026. And then here in the new latest update, oh, you have no idea how actively Japan is plugging XRP into its financial system. Japan's Rakuten, 44 million users, and $23 billion in points just went full XRP. SBI Shinsei Bank now lets customers convert their deposit interest into XRP. SBI Japan CEO publicly said every bank will use XRP and will be very expensive. Japan is the first domino. And XRP Ledger's average trading returns hit their lowest levels in 12 years, suggesting a relief rally is probable per sentiment. Yeah, definitely need a bit of relief here. Bears lost $3.5 million betting against XRP in the past 24 hours. Jamie Dimon once criticized crypto, and recently JP Morgan used the XRP ledger to settle a tokenized US Treasury across borders in under 5 seconds. XRP ledger is proving utility speaks louder than words. Bitfinex Whale's XRP long positions are going parabolic. Question is, what do they note? Is XRP next to pump? XRP is about to break above its 12-month downtrend. A 3D close or 3-day close above $1.20 could trigger a relief rally. Right now, it's looking pretty good. So let's see it go just a little bit higher here. The fact that the IMF keeps posting about tokenization and even mentions the XRP ledger in one document makes me feel that we're very close to the implementation of the new financial system. And so about 5 hours ago, IMF said multiple forms of digital money can coexist in tokenized finance. Bank deposits, stable coins, and central bank money. Design choice will shape stability and trust. Whale Watch. Sentiment data shows XRP average trading returns at their lowest point in 12 years. Short-term and long-term holders are both underwater. That combination has preceded sharp reversals before. The more frustrated the crowd, the faster the snap back when sentiment returns. Not selling, adding. And just take a look at this. It is absolutely dropped down there. That's very wild. Now we go ahead and take a look at what's going on, the latest price movement for XRP, and what we can see is it's looking good. We're up over 3% on the day, sitting above $1.12, 2 days of candle closure in the green the last few days. And let's go ahead and just zoom out a bit. More than likely, we're going to be seeing events that took place very similar to Bitcoin, essentially mirroring Bitcoin overall. Not exactly day per day, but overall, it's looking pretty close. So like we go back here June 13th, 3-day run up, and then we had drops that took place. Back here, May 28th, 3-day run up, then we got some drops. Back here, May 8th, we have 4 days, and then a little bit of a drop, a nice push up on that next day on May 14th. Let's go ahead and zoom a bit more here so you guys can actually see this a little clearer. We can actually see that on May 9th, it was green, but barely. It was very, very close. And then we also have on May 4th. So essentially, we looked at a nice run up taking place really starting on May 1st, pushing all the way up here to $1.55. That's from actually a low point that we had going back on April 29th at $1.35. So we have some wiggle room. We're going to zoom out even more. And with where we currently are at, we can go back to February 6th, and we had a really, really big explosive candle. I pushed it all the way up to $1.47 on the day. The day before, significant drop took place. So that rally shows you that there is a lot of buying potential behind the market with this. And yes, the volume itself right now is actually looking pretty low. We can zoom in even more. We are at almost as much volume for the day as what we had yesterday, but there's still plenty of time left in the day. So more than likely, this is going to be higher I would suspect that we might even be able to pass what we saw here on June 29th if this really starts to make a nice little push. But I think a lot of eyes are going to be seeing what's going on with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can manage to break above, like I was kind of talking about earlier, about $63,000, and it closes out on the day there, then I think this gives it a lot more opportunity to see this push up by comparison. So looking really good at the moment. We'll have to see how things play out on the daily candle close. It's above the median line in the Bollinger Band, which is also great news. That VWAP staying above that, very good as well. So showing some good promising signs. I'll keep you guys posted. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much, my Patreon supporters, as well as my YouTube members. God bless, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.